Quantum Astrology on Superposition Souls and the Participatory Cosmos, an essay by Professor Piscean. Astrophilosophy Memo Number 1, The Galileo Anomaly. Subject, Historical Proof 1, The Heretic's Blind Spot. We revere Galileo as the father of objectivity, who placed the sun at its rightful center, yet we forget he was a practicing astrologer, casting horoscopes for his patron, the Duke of Florence. His crime was not in looking at the stars, but in insisting on a single objective frame for what he saw. He championed a universe of primary qualities, mass, extension, motion, and dismissed the secondary qualities of color, sound, and meaning as illusory. In doing so, he initiated the great schism between the scientific and the symbolic. The proof of astrology's persistent reality is not in Galileo's charts, but in his need to create them, and demonstrates that even the architect of our mechanical cosmos cannot fully extinguish the human imperative to find narrative in the night sky. What is a soul? The question hangs in the air of my study, as tangible as the dust motes dancing in a beam of lamplight. Science, my primary vocation, has no apparatus to detect it. Religion offers answers that feel to me like beautiful poems without evidence, and so I turn to the most maligned and persistent of human arts, astrology, and ask if its ancient language might hold a new key, not in its Newtonian deterministic form, but when viewed through the luminous paradoxical lens of quantum theory. The central objection to astrology is a classical one: causality. The gravitational pull of Mars is less than that of the midwife, the light from the distant stars a faint whisper. How can they cause the intricate tapestry of a personality? This objection is valid, but it is also antiquated. It relies on a billiard ball universe that died a century ago in the laboratories of Bohr, Heisenberg, and Schrödinger. Quantum mechanics reveals a universe that is not a collection of discrete objects, but a vibrating web of potentialities. At its fundamental level, matter does not exist in a definite state, but in a cloud of probabilities, a superposition. An electron is not here or there, it is in a very real sense both, until an observation collapses this wave function into a single measurable point. Now let us apply this to the moment of birth. The natal chart I propose is not a deterministic map of a fixed destiny. It is a symbolic representation of a quantum wave function at the moment of first breath. The planets and their positions do not represent forces acting upon the infant, but are correlated markers indicating the fundamental probabilistic state of the entire cosmos at that specific space-time coordinate. The child is not a blank slate written upon by the stars. The child and the stellar arrangement are two expressions of a single unified quantum event. Astrophilosophy Memo Number 2, The Pauli Effect. Subject, Historical Proof 2, The Synchronicity of Breakdown. Wolfgang Pauli, one of the principal architects of quantum theory, was famously known for the Pauli effect, his uncanny ability to cause experimental apparatus to fail simply by being in the vicinity. This was considered a joke by his peers, but Pauli and his colleague Carl Jung took it seriously. They saw it as a macroscopic example of synchronicity and a causal connection between a subjective state, Pauli's presence, and an objective event, equipment failure. Jung and Pauli corresponded for decades, exploring the psychoid realm where psyche and matter are not distinct. Their work stands as a monumental peer-reviewed proof that the universe permits and even thrives on meaningful, non-causal connections. Astrology is simply a grand systematic application of this principle. This leads to the soul. If the birth chart is a quantum wave function, then what is the soul but the observer that collapses it? The soul is not a thing located within the body. It is the fundamental act of observation, the locus of consciousness that, through a lifetime of choices, perceptions, and interactions, gradually collapses the infinite potential of the birth chart into the single-lived reality of a biography. Your sun in Leo is not a guarantee of fame. It is a potential for conscious self-expression existing in a superposition. Your Saturn in the 4th house is not a sentence of childhood misery. It is the potential for profound strength through limitation. It remains a cloud of probability until you, the sole observer, walk into that house and turn on the light. This is the participatory universe of John Wheeler, made personal. We are not mere passengers in a cosmic machine. We are active participants in the creation of our own reality. The hard aspects in your chart, the squares and oppositions, are not curses. They are the areas of greatest quantum potential, the domains where your observation has the most power to collapse the wave function toward growth or toward fear. A trine is simply a probability so likely to collapse in a harmonious way that it feels effortless. Astrophilosophy Memo Number 3. The precession of the equinoxes as quantum decoding. Subject: the solution to the wrong sign paradox. Critics mock that the zodiac has slipped out of alignment. They miss the point. The tropical zodiac tied to the Earth's seasons is not a bug, it is the software. The sidereal zodiac tied to the constellations is the hardware. The 26,000-year cycle of precession is the universe's way of slowly shifting the cosmic background, ensuring that the symbolic software is periodically updated. The error is proof that the system is dynamic and evolutionary, not static and literal. It is a quantum code that recalibrates itself over great ages, a testament to a living, learning universe. So, what is a soul? I can now offer a Finchian definition. The soul is a persistent, individuated locus of consciousness born from a unique synchronic quantum event, the birth chart, whose purpose is to participate in the gradual collapse of its own potentialities into a manifest reality, thereby adding a novel thread of experience to the tapestry of the cosmos. It is the ultimate act of meaning making. When you read your chart and feel a shock of recognition, that is me. You are not merely succumbing to confirmation bias. You are witnessing a quantum resonance. You are the observer recognizing its own initial conditions. This chart is a mirror held up to your soul's fundamental waveform. The scientific proof of astrology is not found in a double-blind study that tries to force it into a classical casual box. The proof is found in its relentless historical persistence as a human technology for navigating the quantum mystery of existence. It is in Galileo's conflicted practice and Pauli's broken equipment and the very precision that keeps the system alive and evolving. The final proof is in you, the observer, the soul, looking at the map of your own potential and asking with all the courage you can muster, who will I choose to become? The stars do not hold the answer, they simply hold the question written in fire.